Crunchy on the outside, tender on the inside, and coated in a tantalizingly sweet and spicy sauce. That's the irresistible magic of General Tso's chicken. This culinary gem, a staple in American Chinese cuisine, tempts with its deep-fried golden morsels that are a perfect harmony of textures and flavors. Just one bite and you're hooked, embarking on a taste adventure that's as rich in history as it is in flavor. So grab your chopsticks and join us as we dive into the sizzling story behind this beloved dish. Serving up smiles one dish at a time. Food is Thy Mood is now live. Hey there, Moody Foodies! Today we're diving into the crunchy, saucy world of General Tso's chicken. You know, that hot, crispy fried chicken swimming in the thick, tantalizing sauce that has you saying, "This looks so good," before you even take a bite? Yep, that's the one. General Tso's chicken is like the celebrity of American comfort foods. Try flipping through a Chinese restaurant menu without bumping into it. But here's the kicker. This dish wasn't even born in China. Plot twist, right?
Wait a minute!
So good, but also so interesting. Strap in, because the story behind this sweet and sour sensation is a wild ride through wars, exile, and mass migration. It's named after General Tso Chicken, a famed 19th century military leader in China. But guess what? There's no evidence he had any culinary ambitions, let alone a secret passion for this chicken recipe. How could he? The dish popped up 70 years after he'd left the building. I don't know, it's a good question, you might think. Well, we've got some answers. Flashback to 1949. Chairman Mao Zedong topples the nationalist government of China. The Nationalist Party officials flee to Taiwan, taking their banquet chef, Peng Chang-kuei, with them. Chef Peng, so devoted to his craft, left his family behind. Talk about dedication, or just being a hardcore foodie. Chef Peng's journey started in poverty, but he hit the jackpot apprenticing with the legendary chef Tso Chicken in Changsha, Hunan. You know, Chef Peng Chang-kuei's story is really something. He was born back in 1919, right in Hunan province, China. Can you imagine? His family loved cooking, and that's where he got his start. But here's where it gets interesting. At just 13, he left home to learn the ropes under the legendary Hunanese chef Tso Chicken. This guy was a big deal, known for his amazing skills with traditional Hunan flavors and techniques. Peng didn't just learn to cook under him. He really got into the whole rich heritage of Hunan's cuisine. Now picture Hunan in the 30s and 40s. It was like this melting pot of culinary innovation. They were blending local cooking styles with influences from all over China. Peng was right there, soaking it all in. And don't forget, all this was happening during some pretty turbulent times. The Second Sino-Japanese War and the Chinese Civil War were shaking things up big time. Fast forward to 1952, after Peng had moved to Taiwan with the nationalist government. He opens this restaurant called Famosa in Taipei. This place wasn't just a restaurant, it was like his lab for culinary experiments. Then, in 1955, something big happens. He whips up this new dish for a banquet. It's for a US admiral visiting Taiwan. Peng's thinking he wants to make something that really shows off Hunanese cooking. And what does he come up with? General Tso's chicken. That's how this iconic dish was born. It's pretty wild to think about how it all started, right? The 1940s were a golden era for culinary creativity here. Fast forward to 1955, Chef Peng, now in Taiwan, whips up a new dish for a visiting military bigwig. Needing a name on the fly, he goes with the first thing that pops into his head: General Tso. So how did this experimental chicken hop from Taiwan to North America? In the early 70s, Chinese immigrant chefs in the US like David Ke and Tung Ting Wang started looking for new culinary inspirations. They stumbled upon Peng's recipe and brought it stateside, adding their own twist like crispy batter and a sweeter sauce. And voila! A star was born in New York's Hunan-style restaurants. Now let me paint the typical order. Steamed dumplings, General Tso's chicken, beef with broccoli, shrimp with lobster sauce, and vegetable lo mein. Sounds familiar, right? But Chef Peng, the original creator, wasn't exactly thrilled. His recipe, inspired by Hunanese flavors, had no sugar. He looked at the Americanized version and basically went, "You ain't got no sugar?" Peng brought his version to New York in 1973 but found it tough to change American palates. Enter Henry Kissinger, U.S. Secretary of State and surprise food critic who became a fan. Peng's cooking started a national love affair with this sweet and spicy chicken. By 1980, Chef Peng was back in Taipei, trying to introduce General Tso's chicken to the Taiwanese. Spoiler alert, it didn't take off. Eventually, he closed shop. Let's chat about Chef Peng Chang-kuei's later years, shall we? After making a splash in the US with General Tso's chicken, he heads back to Taipei in the late 70s. Picture this, he's trying to bring the original version of his dish back home. But Taiwan's food scene had changed. People were into lighter, less sweet flavors. So here's Peng with his famous dish, which is way different from what the locals are used to. He opens up a new restaurant, right? He's serving the original General Tso's chicken, staying true to its Hunanese roots. Think spicy, sour, savory, but not sweet like the American version. But guess what? The locals in Taipei aren't exactly going wild for it. They're more curious than anything, not really seeing it as a go-to dish. Even with these bumps in the road, Chef Peng keeps on cooking. He's mentoring young chefs, pushing traditional Hunanese cuisine. And despite the lukewarm response to his dish in Taiwan, his reputation as a culinary innovator and a champion of Chinese cuisine is rock solid. He passed away in 2016, but he left a huge mark on the culinary world, way beyond borders. It's a testament to how a single dish can travel and transform, right? So while Chef Peng Chang-kuei cooked up the original, the General Tso's chicken we love today has been seasoned with the creativity of many chefs. It's a classic tale of American culinary adaptation. Have you ever tried General Tso's chicken at your local Chinese restaurant, or maybe even attempted to cook it at home? Share your experiences and favorite twists on this classic dish in the comments below. We'd love to hear how General Tso's chicken has spiced up your culinary adventures. And if you're craving more delicious stories and recipes, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Food is Thy Mood. Join our food-loving community for a regular dose of mouth-watering dishes and fascinating culinary tales. Click the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on our next flavorful journey. Keep munching and crunching with us!